this morning. And we know that the mining sector is crucial to Zambia's economy, serving as a significant driver of economic growth, employment and foreign exchange earnings. The sector's performance directly influences the country's economic stability and development prospects, making it a vital component of Zambia's economic landscape. We also know that effective management and sustainable development of the mining sector are essential for maximizing its benefits and ensuring long-term economic prosperity. My name is Paul Sentindov, and today we are looking at what the President talked about in his address last Friday, the other Friday, on the 12th of September 2025. We all know that the President was here, and members of Parliament have been debating various issues that were raised in that presidential address. My sign language interpreter this morning is Chola Kauman. Better still, you can also make use of the phone number that we'll be sharing on the screen is 0978 772880, and if you wish to participate. Also remember that we are live on our socials, the National Assembly of Zambia, and not forgetting YouTube pages. Like that page and let us know where you're watching us from if you have any contribution or comment regarding the sector that we are looking at today. This is the mining sector. My guest on today's program, I do have on my far left, and this is Mr. Victor Kalesha, who is President Emerald's Precious Stones Mining Association of Zambia. Thank you so much, Mr. Kalesha, for joining us.
Thank you so much, sir.
Also, do we have on the panel this morning is the Minister of Mines and Minerals Development, and this is Honorable Paul Kabuso, MP. He's also a Member of Parliament for Chidilabombe. Honorable, thank you so much for waking up early. I know you've had a very busy week in your constituents. How is the Minister of Mines?
Thank you very much, Paul Saint, and thank you for hosting me early in the morning. Interesting times.
All right. The President was here the other week, 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago, on Friday the 12th. How do you make of the President's address?
It was a fantastic speech. I think it highlighted various things that we've done as UPND in the last 4 years of our administration in various sectors of our economy. It really touched almost every sector, okay, in terms of what was and what is and how the future looks. So I must say it was a fantastic speech, and narrowing it down to the mining sector, I think that he also highlighted a lot of achievements that have been done in the mining space for the past 4 years that UPND has been in government.
Mr. Kalesha, you are President, Emerald and Precious Stones Mining Association of Zambia. How is the association doing, and how do you make of the President's address?
I think I would say the association is doing well. We've been excited in the previous past that things that we never used to have, engagement, continuous engagement with government, we have them because that was one of our cries, that we should be having engagements with our line ministry, with various sectors of our government, and it is happening. And we're listening to the President's speech, which, like the Minister says, was fantastic. It gave hope to us as miners, because just the previous week we were with the President at the first ever artisanal and small-scale mining conference at Mulungushi International Conference Center, where he gave us a roadmap to what government really wants to do. So looking at the speech, we feel as an association we want to endorse the initiative of the President of the 4 pillars that he calls 4 pillars of safe mining, legal mining, formal trade, and security for responsible artisanal small-scale mining. We feel if we move in line with what government requires, we'll definitely have this country get.
You've talked about the challenges that you are having in the past in terms of engaging governments. What kind of engagement are we talking about, for the sake of a viewer?
I think, we've had challenges like in terms of the usual challenges for a small-scale miner is lack of geological information, lack of access to finance, lack of access to equipment, And these are issues that when you see through, the minister has been elaborating upon them, that we want to help the small-scale mining sector. And we've had various meetings actually with him. Things yet materializing. We have hope that through these engagements, because even today we have to remind them to say, please, let's move this, because the ultimate goal is not for the minister or for the president, it's for the country. And like the president usually likes saying, let's work together. And the challenges that we faced, we feel, one, the geophysical aerial surveys, we feel when now government comes on to us, they'll give us information to say, don't mine blindly, you need to do this. We have artisanal small-scale miners in God, have been facilitated, some of them with the are aware that there are programs that are ongoing in Mufumbwe, Kasempa, and I think next week they'll be going.
And I will get to those details to know what is doing and who's doing what and where. Honorable Minister, the President, the time he was here on the 12th of September, he did talk about the target of 1 million metric tons of copper production by the end of 2025. Can you provide a detailed plan on how you're going to achieve this target as a ministry?
Thank you so much, President. And what I'll say is that it's not a plan for 2025. We have put in place a plan for 3 million tons. That's the target. That's the vision of President HH. That is the vision and target he has given the Ministry of Mines, that we reach that level. So it is coming out of a holistic plan of getting to 3 million tons, which is, number one, we said the low-hanging fruits are to resuscitate all the brownfield mines, to make them productive and fire in all cylinders. KCM, Mopani, Kansanshi, Kalumbila, Lumwana, etc., etc. So that is what we set ourselves to say we are going to hit 3 million tons, and this is the way we are going to walk towards the 3 million tons. And I'm sure you are aware, President, that there was an instruction at the beginning of our term that all the mining companies that are in court must get out of court, because we can't mine in court. He knows, Mr. Kalesha, that we have to mine on the mine site. If you are busy fighting over tenements, over licenses, what suffers, President, is the country. So the President now said, no mining in court, no doing business in court. Let's do business in the boardroom and on the mine site. Okay. So we brought all these mines now back to life. KCM, Vedanta, we sat. I must say, the story of KCM, people threw all kinds of stones on us. I want to tell you that it looks good. It's going high. It's producing. They are investing in KDMP. That is what this government wanted. Remember, when we were negotiating with them, one of the key demands for us was do the KDMP. So Konkola is showing positivity in terms of growth. Mopani is showing a lot of positivity. It has employed over 2,000 people, about 1,900, close to 2,000 people, who are above the numbers that they had when Mopani was not firing. Okay. Then we have the S3 expansion, which is Kansanshi. So the S3 expansion is going to make FQM, that is Kalumbila and Kansanshi combined, to produce about 500 metric tons. All right, 500,000. So when you look at all these mines that we brought on board, now there is the Kitumba mine also in Mumbwa, which the President, I think, talked about, emphasized in Parliament that Mumbwa will no longer be called Mumbwa. So then Lumwana is also on an expansion project.
Now, Robert, do you think this is attainable, 1 million by the end of 2025? I know you've talked about the whole
because last year,
which is about 3 million tons by 2031.
Yes. So we do projections, President. It's not like you just wake up and say we'll do 1 million tons. It's the projections that we make. The calculations are made. This mine will contribute this much. This mine will contribute this much. The artisanals will contribute this much. When you aggregate the figures, you get to the 1 million. So this last year, we hit 800, above 800, which was about 16% growth. So we want to hit 1 million. It's deliberate. That is a psychological barrier. The figures that they've given me are around 900 and something, but we are pushing harder, that we go beyond the 960 that the projectors are projecting to get to 1 million. So we are pushing towards that, and it's deliberate. It's very, very tenable. Even the 3 million is very tenable.
Mr. Galeshi, the minister has just highlighted to us the target that he has been given by the president. By 2031 should at least reach 3 million tons. Is this attainable from you coming from a private sector?
Yeah, I think I would like to draw you back briefly. The reason why we may have even figures that were low in the past was because there was a lot of illegal activities going on, and because of the illegal activities, most of the figures were not even captured. So having introduced the president talking about legal mining, we feel all those, our artisanal small-scale mining, those have been mining in the bush without formalizing their operations. We want to encourage them, come out in the open, let's support the government, put your records straight, so that we attain, when that is attainable, I said before, it is for the country, it's not for the minister, it's for the president, it's for the country, because the country will benefit, and that's why they have all those targets, so that the country will start drawing enough revenue from our mineral resources. So to me, yes, it is attainable. We have the work as well as the federations, associations, to go flat out, and we know where we find these guys. They are mining and selling privately to the Chinese. We tell them, please, can you formalize? Let's have the records enter into the ministry's records, so that we support the dream that will make this country a better country.
If you wish to be part and parcel of this interesting post-analysis of the presidential address during the official opening of the 5th session of the 13th Assembly, the number is 0978-772801, 0978-772801, and I'll be able to read out your text messages. Better still, you can also go to our Facebook page, like the page, and let us know where you're watching us from. And better still, you can also send your question or contribution on those platforms. We're live on both radio and television. The minister has talked about the target, and you've also highlighted how you are contributing. But how can government support local miners in acquiring necessary skills and knowledge? And also, maybe you can also add up to enhance productivity and competitiveness in the emerald mining sector.
Okay. I sit here with many hearts, but we'll see and comprehend what we can. In terms of government trying to promote how we will be able to benefit or enhance the production in the mining sectors when it comes to ASM, they've come up with a program that I know of. I went there in Mufumbo training. Before even giving out artisanal small-scale licenses, they've introduced a program of first training, and after training, first issue letters of offer, then train, then issue licenses. So for that part, we feel we'll be able to draw much more gold, which also is sold illegally. But when we have enough gold, you saw in Ghana the other time the president was saying the first time they had gold that was collected from small-scale miners that beat the large scale. So it means even in this country, if we put our act together, we'll be able to, collect much more gold. For the emerald sector, I think it's high time that we awaken the sleeping giant. Our minister is here. We know there will be, I think there are two competitive mines, Grizzly and Kajam, but we're not going to continue clapping for the two. We need to have many more come on board. Like we have one more coming, and I think the minister is aware. There is one more large scale that is opening in Lufwanyama, and we want now the small scale also to briefly start contributing. And how do we do that? We are appealing to government through the speech that we got from the president. There will be an ASM fund. There will be, so through that ASM fund, we request that instead of even giving us fund, let's buy some basic equipment like core drilling machine, even one in Lufwanyama, a few excavators and dump trucks as a loan to us, and then we start extracting and start paying back the loan, and then we'll see much more emeralds on the market than just seeing Kajam and Grizzly auctioning. We want a local auction. I was hinting the president the other day. I said we want to have an auction one day at State House, and that can only happen when the small scale start producing, because we are their children.
And what was his response?
Is quite excited about it, and we've been working with the minister in the backgrounds. One day you will see those happening. Those are dreams. They have a dream as a government, we have a dream as their children, and as we support each other and complement each other, we will see better results.
What about the other thing that the president talked about, was the issue to do with communities where these mining activities are done from? They should be benefiting. Now, how do you intend how do you plan to make sure that, or to ensure that the benefits of these mining activities in various communities trickles down to the local person in these communities?
So the first thing, Paulson, is I think historically we haven't done very well in negotiating joint ventures, and that's why there's been an emphasis from the president to say we have to do joint ventures, we have to have affordable capital, we have to have new technologies coming. But talking about joint ventures, I think in the past we've missed an opportunity. Now what we did during the negotiating time, the component of governance, the social impact, those were very critical on the table.
Okay.
It was actually a column to score any particular investor or any particular joint venture partner, for Mopani, for KCM, for everybody. That is to take care of the communities where these mining companies are domiciled. By the way, the reason why these resources are seated in this country, percent, is for Zambia, like Mr. Kalesha was saying. Whatever we do is for Zambia. If we say 3 million tons, at the back of our minds as government is the Zambian people to benefit from these resources. The 3 million tons percent, the consequences are that there will be a lot of activity. People will be employed, suppliers and contractors, and just money to the treasury. Because 3 million tons will mean that the royalties that we are collecting today as a country will be tripled, because we are at 800, we get to 3 million, it will be tripled, the treasury will fill it. So that is the first thing. In terms of negotiation, you do proper negotiations. Like right now as I'm talking, KCM every year will be producing $20 million as CSR. It's cast in concrete, it's agreed. As we speak today, roads are being done in Chilabombwe, in Chingola, and in Nampundwe, where KCM is domiciled, worth $8.2 million, and the contractors are on site. That's impact number one. The second thing that we have done, and I know on this matter there's been a lot of back and forth, but finally we are done on the local content law. That is also key, because that will now speak to each mining company has to abide by the law. I'll be signing shortly the SI, it is at Justice, where they are making sure that the legal language and the drafting issues are taken care of. Mining companies have agreed, the Chamber of Miners agreed, ourselves as government, and various stakeholders. I think even them were consulted on the issue of the local content. So that is also to actualize now benefit to the communities. But also, mining companies, immediately they mine a kg of anything or a ton of anything, they attract mineral royalty. That is money to the treasury, and that is why we say these mining companies must perform. They shouldn't be fighting in court, because that is depriving Zambians. How is the president supporting free education? How is the president supporting CDF, where you enhance it to 30.6 million, one button every constituency receives for the past 4 years? It's because treasury income from the very mining companies, they are contributing 17% of GDP. Right now in Zambia, percent, FQM is the largest single taxpayer, the whole country. Let me finish. That is very important. So those are the monies that goes now into the treasury and begin to support the social sector, the education sector, the health sector. So that is the benefit. So benefit, it's not only to those people, those places where these mines are, but also it's spread right through to the whole country.
All right, the number that we are using if you wish to send in your text messages is 0978-772-801. You can also go to our Facebook page, the National Assembly of Zambia. This is the post-analysis of the presidential address during the official opening of the 5th session of the 13th Assembly. The president was here on the 12th of September 2025 and gave a roadmap on how government intends to actualize major pronouncements that the president made for the year 2026, and also just gave us how the government has fared, the new Dawn government has fared from the time they took office from 2021. And let's see if we do have some few text messages on our platform and on our socials as well. Let's see who has sent what and from where. All right, this one comes from Clive from Serenge. Good morning, Minister. Please, I would like to know the way forward on Chitambo gold mine. Every day we hear it will be opened, but no way to that. All right, that's Clive from Serenge there. Maybe, Honorable, you can quickly respond to...
Well, I think right now I may not have the information as to how far this matter has gone. I know it's a burning issue. But I think speaking to the technocrats, my PS and his team, I think they will be able to give me feedback. I've been away from the office for almost a week now.
Okay.
So I'm coming in the office this morning.
Okay.
So I'm sure they will give me a feedback, and we would love these mines to open all over.
Mr. Kalishi, you talked about the area geophysical survey, which the government has embarked on sometime last year. We did hear the president talking about it and the importance of the area geo survey. Where are we, Honorable Minister, in terms of the survey, and how many in terms of percentage? In terms
so
of
we so far percent, we got our first report, and you know of the levels in terms of how far they've gone. So they're about 30% done now.
Okay,
yes.
30%.
Yes.
Maybe then I can also shift to Mr. Kalishi. How are small-scale miners going to benefit from this survey?
Like I said previously, we've been mining blindly. And, many times we've been labeled as being dormant and productive, and what it's because we've been going out trying to chance and search for where we don't know where to find the minerals. So I think it would be beneficial to small-scale miners, because now government would be able to guide and advise. Maybe tell us, because we've been talking about amalgamation actually in the Emerald, Lufanyama Emerald restricted area. But as we amalgamate, we need to know where are these deposits located, because some of them have had these mines for a couple of years, and because they've been mining where there are no deposits. So with this development, I think miners will benefit by government advising to mining to defined areas.
Okay. All right, Honorable, let's get to the address that the President, in the President's address on page 16, the President did say our first major investment in the mining sector in 2021 was a resolution of disputes between the government of the Republic of Zambia and the First Quantum Minerals. This resolution led to FQM's restored confidence in Zambia and their subsequent decision in February 2022 to invest 1.25 billion US dollars to expand Kansanshi mine at S3. Your quick comment on this one, and where are we in terms of these funds that were invested?
So you remember I said we needed to look at the low-hanging fruit, and I mentioned the Kansanshi expansion project as one of them. So when you look at Kansanshi, at the time we were coming, they were actually about to exit. They were giving up on the environment. They were in court fighting. Then we decided to sit together on the table. And when you look at the S3 expansion project, the decision was made February 2022 to re-enter and reinvest $1.25 billion. I think a month ago, the President went to commission the S3 expansion project. Its consequences are that they will employ more people. That's number one. Number two, like I said, it will increase production for Kansanshi combined, that is FQM combined, Kansanshi and Kalumbila, they will hit between 450 and 500,000 metric tons. Now, if that one is at full throttle, it produces that. Combined with two other mines, we're already in the range of $1.5–2 million, and the numbers for each mine are showing us where they are going. So Kansanshi, this expansion, apart from what I've said, the life of mine has been increased, I think, to over 30 years. Okay. Because of this program. Okay. So really, for me, it's an exciting thing. Where are we? They've begun producing, they've begun working, they have employed people, and they'll be paying more taxes to the treasury.
There are quite a number of policies that the government has put in place. How impactful are these policies to you as small-scale miners, more especially dealing in Emirates?
You know, there are certain policies that seem like new to us because we never had them. But like I said, we are seeing something like we never saw, and we are learning, and we are waiting for implementation. It excites us. We've seen a couple of documents through the ministry being introduced, and a number of policies being put in place, and because we were not used maybe to operating under certain policies, we're operating blindly without following certain regulations. So now we are in the process of adjusting ourselves to fit into what roadmap government is driving us into. We are excited as a federation, as associations, that for the first time we've had a manual for artisanal small-scale miners, which falls under the initiative of the president, the 4 pillars of the president: the safe mining, the legal mining, and what. We have to move with that manual and go and educate our small-scale miners to mine legally and safely, and also marketing practices. All those are there into that manual. So I think it's something that is bringing change in our mindsets, and the government just needs to move with us, be patient with us until we adjust to the level where we are. Say, okay, this is how things should happen. Well, there's been a lot of defaults, and sometimes people penalized, but we go cry to the ministry to tell them we are not used to this, and so okay, go and make your clean up your house, and we forgive you for now, but in future we are telling our miners, let's pull up our socks and make sure that we read all the regulations. And some of them have been saying we don't understand English, and what this is what we've discussed with line ministry and permanent. There will be some of them that will be interpreted into local languages, including the operating manual, so that people in the remote areas will be able to understand that.
In your preamble, you did talk about some engagements that you've had with the New Dawn government, and if I remember very well, during the address, the president did talk about 1,400 artisanal and small-scale mining licenses issued. What strategies can be put in place or be implemented to ensure that there is safety in these mines, more especially to these miners that have been given these licenses? I want to start with you, then we'll move on to the
minister. Yes, we are mindful, because we are part and parcel. When the minister gave the first licenses in Mumbwa, the association was there, and when he gave in Mfumbwe, I think there's also Rufunsa, and they'll be giving in Impika soon. We are mindful, and it's something that is exciting, because they, instead of allowing illegal mining to go on, they are formalizing by giving out the licenses. So to us as an association, we think that's the right direction that government has taken, because then there will be no more illegal. The thorn in the flesh is illegal mining. Okay. Even ourselves, we feel it, because look at me, I have been mining and I've been putting in money, but yet I'm not getting the benefit. But the illegal miner is able to gets and sells on the black market. As an association, we are coming up with a component. I think the minister needs to know, through the support of the 4 pillars, we are coming up with an organization that will deal strictly with responsible mining, where we'll be sensitizing on safe mining, legal mining, marketing strategies. We don't want, and that's at Africa level. Actually, we are discussing at Africa level in ASM. We don't want our Africa to be giving minerals to these middlemen who go to the Western countries and we are not seeing anything. We want every mineral that is mined in Africa, in Zambia, should remain here, and government should take inventory of it and benefit out of it as we pay taxes. Free education, like the minister alluded to, and constituency development fund can only happen when all of us are responsible enough to contribute into the national coffers.
I'd like to apologize to our Facebook followers. We're having difficulties with our audio there. Nevertheless, our technical department is trying to sort out that challenge that we're experiencing at this particular time. Honorable, 1.4 thousand artisanal and small-scale mining licenses have been issued.
Yes.
But how are we making sure that these miners adhere to environmental regulations and formal trade regulations?
So I want to tag on what Mr. Kalesha just said about the artisanals. I think in a long time, they've never been used, like he has said it himself, to do something in an organized way. What this government has decided to do, Paulson, is to work with the artisanals in an organized way. It's not an easy feat because illegality, informality was entrenched, has been entrenched in our people for a long time. They would rather they just go on a mine, scavenge quickly, go to a middleman, sell, and go and buy food. Okay? The issue of artisanal miners, these are Zambians who are trying to survive. They want to make ends meet, but they have to do it safely. They have to do it in a formal way. And that's why this government, prior to coming into power, it was on the mouth of the president every time that us, when we come, we'll formalize you. Will give you licenses so that you go and mine in a formal structure. Of course, the issue that Mr. Kalesha talked about of lack of resources, lack of equipment, government is slowly addressing that. It's not a matter that you do easily, because it's an expensive undertaking. It requires a lot of resources. And what has government done to address that? Number one, we have created now, a director for artisanal and small-scale miners, who they will now be interacting with. In the past, it has to be through maybe director of mines straight to the minister. Now there will be a person in charge of artisanal miners at director level at the ministry. Number two, through the Geological Mining Development and Geological Act, what we have done there also is to introduce an artisanal fund. In fact, this year, in the budget, the president instructed that we set aside a certain amount of money that will go straight to the artisanal funds to help them formalize. It's not going to be easy because, like I said, it is entrenched, but it's also expensive. The good part is that we are also talking with the private sector, so that government guarantees the artisanals to work with them and the private sector to come in. For example, in the gold sector, you can loan equipment, for example, to the artisanals. Then they pay slowly through the gold, or through, after they sell the gold, they begin to pay for that equipment. So government is in high gear in that, and that is why for the first time we have a training manual for artisanals, which we were using in Mufumbwe. So far, the first 200 cooperatives were trained. They were trained in safe mining. They were trained in marketing, in geology, in understanding the rock and everything else. Why are we doing that? It's a first step going towards what we promised our people, that will formalize you.
And the environmental regulations, because this is the area that is neglected. That is people tend to suffer.
That is part of it. In the manual, I wish I had come with it. It's the environmental issues, it's the safety, it's the marketing, it's also the geology, understanding the rocks that they are dealing with. how that they shouldn't use things like mercury to wash their gold, which is polluting our environment. All that, and they are very appreciative. You know, sometimes we take things for granted that maybe our people don't excuse me don't want to listen. No, they have just not been told that this is the damage that you are causing by using this, and people now have been told and have been schooled, and the manual is there. It will be done continuously, and it's being rolled out across the country. We are not looking back. It's a serious battle on making sure that there is legal mining in this country.
Let's get to our SMS facility, 0978-772801. My two guests this morning, I do have the Minister of Mines and Minerals Development, and this is Honorable Paul Kabuswe, and not forgetting Mr. Victor Kalesha, President's Emeralds and Precious Stones Mining Association of Zambia. Let's see who do we have in terms of who has sent a text message. We have Simata Wisdom from Lusaka. Good morning, Honorable. We are now okay with the mining sector because there is now order, unlike in the past. Honorable, we are with you. Thank you so much, Simate Wisdom. Wilson Hampulula from Liteta in Central Province. You're right. Good morning, Minister. I request you to work hard, because you are the one supporting the country to have a better economy. So what are the qualifications to work in a mine? Interesting text message there. Minister, do you have any Zambians who know the formula of making copper from whatever stone or gravel to finished product? Thank you for that text message. Another lengthy one coming from Mamba Sinazongwe there. As concerned citizen from Mamba Sinazongwe district, I think the district has a lot of potential. How far is mapping? Because we are just here, we just hear that we have amethyst that has not been mapped since independence. We recommend you and the team for good works. All we need to do is to end illegal miners so that the treasury should be getting taxes from these mines so that the government can channel those resources for essential services. Thank you so much. That's Mamba from Sinazongwe there. Maybe a quick reaction. I'll start with Mr. Kalesha.
No, I think those, like somebody who is talking about how to make copper process and what, that's a kind of broad and vast. But I would like to, to inform the minister and even you as well, that as an association, especially at Emerald Association, through the interactions that we've had from the conference, we've created initiatives with the University of Zambia, School of Mines, and CBU, School of Mines, that we easen the burden of challenges to geological surveys. We have invited the School of Mines to be bringing their students to the emerald sector so that they, through their studies, they can do their researches and their they understand from the ground, and they are excited about it, that they are able to even help define. And that's I think that's something that we want to work with the minister, present our vision, and invite the School of Mines so that we will be able to have proper geological information. We know the geological surveys, understaffed, they are overwhelmed with what is happening, but the School of Mines will be able to help through the lecturers and the Dean of Mines, School of Mines, and that's an initiative, minister, that we have come up with. We'll bring the school, they'll be coming time and again to do their internship, and we have opened up our minds that, and they'll be said they can do a report. So that's a step in the right direction for us.
All right, Honorable, a quick reaction to those text messages.
Well, just to assure our people that yes, we have to work hard, and we are working hard. We've worked hard so far to be where we are, that we are even now about to hit the 1 million. We've never reached that tonnage percent, by the way. And it hasn't been by abracadabra. It's because we have put in a lot of work, and we continue putting in a lot of work. One of the exciting things is the fact that we are mapping the country, and there will be now targeted mining. In the past, you just give out licenses anyhow. You don't know what is where. And that's why even now we have discoveries of gold by just peasant farmers going to farm. Why? Because we didn't know. When you go to the so-called Kikonge today, Posent, there is even no road that goes there. It's a bush. It's something that we need to work on, even to create access to that place. People just goes there with bicycles and motorbikes. So really, the working out of orderly things in this country will bring a lot of value to all of us, and that is why we said let's map the country, let's understand. Maybe even Parliament building is sitting on a huge deposit of gold, so it will fly all over. Even my colleague who talked about the Southern Province, I think of the 30%, we've touched a bit of Southern Province, but we are still going there to because we are mapping basically the whole country. Then the report will come. Then we'll now do proper targeted exploration. Then even when we want to do joint ventures with anybody, local, foreign investor, we have to negotiate from a position of knowledge to say, here where I'm seated, there is a huge deposit of this mineral. And to now be negotiated properly without somebody saying, no, you are free carrying, we don't know what is here, we have to drill and blah blah, all those things.
We do hear in the media a lot of illegal gold mining taking place in Kaoma, Western Province, Mumbwa here,
yes,
in Northwestern Province.
Yes.
Do you think the country is maximizing on the benefit of these gold deposits that people keep on discovering?
That is why we have the formalization program, is wanting to maximize. Now ZCCM will be in full throttle as the official aggregator. We have Zambia Gold also aggregating in Central Province. So we have gone in now full throttle as government. The issue present is that these discoveries are being made, you know, without a plan. Somebody just stumbles on it. Because why? The reason is we haven't mapped the country for a long time. These things have been there. It's not like gold has just been found now. I mean, has just been deposited in our soils now by God, and now we are able to discover. It's been there, but we haven't taken time to search. So mapping is the initial stage to search for the mineral wealth that we have. So that is an intention by government to maximize.
But people are still digging, are still excavating, and
of course illegality is
losing out.
That's why I've said illegality has been happening for a very long time, and there hasn't been systems. There hasn't been anybody to check what is going on. It is now. In fact, I read in the paper somebody making an analysis. No, there's been so much illegal mining under UPND. No. What has happened is UPND has uncovered a lead because of transparency of things that have been going on in the country. People were hiding, but us as government, we are not shy to expose first the rot and then deal with it. And this is what is happening now. It's because now there is more information. The government has exposed it. The government has taken a deliberate program. Do you know that the conference that we called for them, it's a first in the history of Zambia? Why haven't we called these things? Because artisanal and small-scale mining has been in Zambia for a very long time. Nobody took it seriously. Under UPND now, they contributed over 45,000 tons in terms of copper. So we now want to take this sector seriously, expose it. For you to deal with the problem, you need to understand the extent. How deep is this problem? How bad is this problem?
And how long should that take, Honorable?
It's going to take a long time. That I cannot lie to you.
Keep on losing out.
No. I'm not saying to resolve it. It's not going to be one day, it's done. No. Everything, person, starts with pronouncements by leaders. Leaders must pronounce, and these words must go to the country. When the president pronounces, like in this speech, like on various fora, like calling the artisanals, the country will get that the feeling and the instruction of this government is that we need to stop illegal mining. And so let me finish that point. Then, if you stop those illegals, you need to have the plan. What are you going to do with them? Because everybody that has been doing this, they think this is their livelihood. So you cannot say stop illegal mining, but you sit on the chair and forget. That's why the president, when he says no illegal mining, he says formalize, formal mining, safe mining, security and trade. Why is he saying those things? Stop this, start this, so that there is no gap. Because if we tell these illegals stop and go home, what will become of their lives? So that's why we are saying, okay, we stop you from doing it illegally, do it legally, do it formally. We'll teach you trade, we'll teach you marketing. Because one of the things present, which is a problem, our artisanal miners don't even understand marketing. People just go and eat on top of their heads and forget. So we also want to teach them how to take mining as a business, not just as a hand-to-mouth situation. And this is why these 4 pillars are being given. And this is why we are saying the 4th pillar is security. Security clusters are going out there to control foreigners. Because artisanal small-scale mining is for only Zambians. Okay. We don't want foreigners that have invaded. Their days are numbered. We don't want to create war zones in these gold areas.
Before I bring in Mr. Kaleshi, there is a perception out there, Honorable Minister, that your government favors the foreign investor, neglecting the local investor. And now we've been talking about the artisanal miners. How do you clear those perceptions out there from a number of people in Zambia?
You know, when somebody wants to create a negative narrative, they'll just make a blanket statement. When those that are claiming us we favor foreign investors, let them give examples that you have favored this one over this Zambian. First and foremost, artisanals and small scale we have emphasized. This is purely for Zambians. Those 1,400 licenses have been given to Zambians. When you check them, it's artisanal, small scale, who are Zambians. So, if somebody claims that this government is favoring foreigners, we did not come in power for foreigners. We came in power for Zambians. Zambians are the one who put us in power to superintend over their affairs so that their lives are made better. Is CDF favoring foreigners? Is free education favoring foreigners? Is the health sector that we are working on favoring foreigners? So people must not just make blanket statement to create a negative narrative over government. Even in the mining space, we have said both foreign and local investors are welcome to consortium. The mapping that we have done to make sure that it is not foreign controlled, it's being funded by Zambian government treasury. So that data that is going to come out is for the Zambian people. Okay. It will be controlled by Zambians. And when we get to form these mines, they will be formed on the strength of the mapping that we have done and the data there. And the JVs must be formed by government or Zambian people with those that may have the resources. Mining is very capital intensive. It requires that you also have foreign capital. You can't run away from that fact.
Let me bring in Mr. Kaleshi. The minister has clarified the perception out there. Are you, your association, your members benefiting from a number of issues that have been lined up by the Zambian government? Because there is a perception that which has been clarified by the minister, of course. But how's the situation on the ground? You deal with these artisanal miners.
Yeah, I think I would like to take this opportunity with the minister, through the Minister of Mines and Minerals Development. That perception is actually coming in because we have requested time and again from the government that Cadastre should stop issuing new mining licenses, especially in the Emerald restricted area, and allow any investor that comes there looking for a mine in the Emerald to partner with the already existing Emerald miners. So, Honorable Minister, with that, we will see that you know, all these guys that are coming in getting new licenses, they need to partner with the already that have the licenses at an agreed, you know, arrangement of percentages. So that way we will see that every artisanal small-scale miners will be active, because then you have somebody with a resource coming in and joining up with us work together.
We are nearing the tail end of today's presentation of the post-budget analysis, and maybe before we leave, Honorable Minister and Mr. Kaleshi, let's get back to the President's address when that's on page 16, where the President talked about the Mopani copper mine, saying that it is crucial. It is a crucial economic pillar on the copper belt. Its production had fallen, and the mine was on the verge of closure in 2023. The government took a decision to onboard a strategic equity partner who would provide both capital and supplemental expertise. International Resource Holding IRH emerged as the best choice, and the President went on saying, through ZCCM HI entered into a joint venture that unlocked 1.1 billion United States dollars of capital into Mopan.
Yes. So it's the same as the model that ESMAS is talking about. So Mopani, if you were following, people know we need capital in this mine. You can't government borrow, place in capital, but we said no, let's just find a partner that we can work with. All right, that partner will bring in this kind of money, and there we are now. Mopani is up and running, has employed more people, is firing in all cylinders. Production has started going up. That is the way it should be. That is the model, that we want to encourage Zambians to do JVs. All right, we are discouraging Zambians to sell licenses willy-nilly. You can sell a license to people that are serious, but also don't just sell it anyhow. I think you get more value by JVing with people that may have the resources. All right, so that the license is your equity or is your capital contribution. They also bring in money. Then you do a joint venture, get into mining.
You brought in a very critical component, and I'm glad we have the association here. Your membership selling licenses or being used by foreign nationals to acquire these licenses, and they have no impact once the documentation is done and the licenses are handed over to these foreign investors, and at the end of the day your membership will start complaining. How are you making sure to address that quickly before we look at
I don't know how
a few text messages?
Because this is an issue that we've tried to address, and I think government hands is tied because I think there is no regulation that stops one from selling the license. So it needs sensitization. You don't sell, partner, agree on partnership, and we've been trying to do that time and again, but we see people going in because of excitement and whatever. They sell and they start complaining thereafter, and who they complain against we don't know, because you decided to sell instead of waiting. I've waited for over 20-30 years to have a proper partner, but I keep on working. They'll come to ask to buy, but I don't want to sell. I want a partner because I want the country to benefit. When I'm having much more revenue coming from my mine, then my country will be benefiting, and my children and many other more generation will come and benefit from the...
I know, Honorable, you have a very busy day today. You're just coming back from your constituency, and you do have quite a number of meetings lined up for the day. But just allow me to bring in maybe 2 or 3 SMSs that we've received from our viewers and our listeners out there. Let's quickly look at some of the text messages that you've sent. All right, this one comes from Chisha Mambwe from Chingola. The projection is very nice and promising, but Honorable, are we going to settle for tax? Why are licenses so hard to get? Why can't the government, with its muscle, at least run one of these mines? Gold, for example, is not hard to extract. If non-educated people can extract, the government can do better. Let's not praise FQM being the highest tax paying company when they are taking money from our land and leaving us with trenches, well as paying its employees less. Thank you so much. A text message from Chingola. What's your take on the foreigners who have invaded our gold mines areas without passports and work permits? What is the Department of Immigration doing? Zambia is just porous on its foreign policy. Thank you so much for that text. Another one come from TS from Mansa. We have Sujilite mine in Wapla, which is fully guarded, but we hear that it's finished. How was it finished? Thank you so much. That's from Mansa as well, TS. The other one is coming from Edgar K. Musonda from Chambishi on the Copper Belt. I'm a miner. Kindly address the issue of paying peanuts to the workers, more especially those operated by Chinese, and Minister, kindly work on employees' minimum wages in the mining sector. Thank you so much, Edgar, for your text message. Let's see if we have another one. The other one reads, we are happy that our introduction of cooperatives in mine sector are now here. Shwangandu and Mpika young men, they are doing something. Keep it up, Honorable Chewe from Mpika. Thank you so much, Chewe from Mpika there. Your quick reaction, Honorable, to those
concerns. There are so many of them, but
maybe you can pick one or two.
I see how I can mix them.
The issue to do with God, I guess. There was something to God. People that are not educated are able to extract the God. Why can't you run a mine as a government?
It's not about whether they are educated persons or not. What is important is to put in formal structures, and that's what this government is doing. I think we've given an example of what we did in Mufumbwe just about a week ago. We gave offer letters and we trained people. We are not choosing that you are grade what to be trained by that program. As long as you had the capability to understand what was being done, people were getting trained. I think that it is something that government must be encouraged to do. I thought people would say, thank you here, at least you have now training people, you are putting things in place that will lead us where we are going.
Okay.
You can't just say, no, God is easy to mine, go and dig and die. How many people have we lost in Mufumbwe? And also the foreigners, somebody talked about the foreigners. We have said the security clusters are going in there, Department of Immigration, the police, Zambia Army, Zambia National Service. There is a combined cluster that are going there to make sure that, you know, we block these foreigners who are encouraging illegal mining.
Your collaboration with the Minister of Labor in terms of minimum wage for miners?
Yeah, I think I have actually mentioned that to my colleague, the Minister of Labor, how that we need to deal with. Honestly, you can't be paying miners peanuts with that kind of work they do.
Okay.
Mining is a tough job.
As we come to the end of the program, Mr. Kalishi, your concluding remarks.
Yeah, I think we just want to appreciate government. They feel we are not appreciating. We have appreciated that they are coming up with the new mechanisms of trying to make the ASM sector active and productive. We just hope that by the end of this year, we'll come up with the proper roadmap that next year, after the rains, we'll see a couple of mines coming on board to start operations, and we've got certain plans that we need to sit with the minister and present to him, to the president, and we know that they are willing to see that this sector thrives, and we'll be on their doors until we see that most of our ASM are active throughout the country.
Honorable, I know you'll be accorded an opportunity to debate the presidential address on the floor of the House. Yes. I know you're taking note of what members or the backbenchers are debating this far. But your concluding remarks on this interesting topic.
Just to say to the Zambian people that first and foremost, thank you for the support that you've given us over the past 4 years. But to just assure our people that trust us, we are getting this country where it is supposed to be in terms of the mining space. It hasn't been an easy road. A lot of complex matters needed to be straightened, and I think that's thus far even numbers are showing that production in various minerals is actually going up. Why is it going up? Policies have been put in place, plans and programs have been put in place. I think that going forward we are going to see more benefit out of the mineral wealth that Zambia is endowed with.
Honorable, thank you so much for making an appearance on this platform. Mr. Kalishi, I must say thank you so much for finding time and wake up early to join us on this platform.
Thank you.
All right, we're done for today. I'd like to say thank you so much for your time. Those of you that have been following us on our social media, I'd like to apologize. Our audio hasn't been so good, but we make sure that things will be sorted out. I've seen quite a number of comments, those of you that were following us on our social media platform. Today, we were looking at the mining sector on the post-analysis of the presidential address during the official opening of the 5th session of the 13th Assembly, and today's program marks the end of the post-analysis. We know that the Minister of Finance will be here on Friday in the afternoon and present the 2026 national budget. So tomorrow we start looking at your expectations in terms of the 2026 national budget. My guest on today's program, I heard the Minister of Mines and Minerals Development. This is Honorable Paul Kabuswe, who is Chilabombwe Member of Parliament, and also joining us was Mr. Victor Kalisha, President, Emerald and Precious Stones Mining Association of Zambia. On behalf of the entire production crew, my name is Paul Sentindova, and thank you so much for your time. Let's meet tomorrow as we talk about the budget expectation. God bless.